Hello, my dear students. I hope you all have been doing well. So today we are going to discuss about the electronic configuration, and then this is my lecture number third, and this lecture is the series of our general science lectures and general science class, and this lecture is included in the part of my general science class, that is the basic concept of chemistry. So in this part of the course we are discussing about very simple and basic concept of chemistry. And in this lecture, for today lecture, we are going to discuss about the electronic configuration. And before today lecture, we have already been discussed what is an atom and its structure in my previous two lecture of the basic concept of chemistry series. So what is an electronic configuration? To understand electronic configuration, we have to understand first what is an atom. So an atom, as we have previously discussed, an atom is a basic particle of a chemical element, and we are having several different chemical elements that are existing in this earth, and we have grouped these chemical element in different classes on the basis of their chemical and physical properties, and we say this group as a periodic table. So periodic table give us the information that how the chemical elements are arranged on the basis of their physical and chemical properties, and periodic table give us the information about the uh, um, uh, different animal element abbreviation, how we write them, their what is their atomic mass, and how many proton and neutron are present in each atom, and many other information also. So our today's topic is not directly linked with this periodic table, but I just give you an understanding of this before going to the our main topic. So our main topic is the electronic configuration, and to understand the electronic configuration we have to understand about what is an atom, because electronic configuration is the arrangement of electron in an atom. So to understand how electron are arranged in an atom, we have to know about first that what is electron and how where we can find this electron in an atom, and what is an atom and what is its structure. So atom as is a basic particle of an element, and each atom is consist on a nucleus, and nucleus is containing proton and neutron, and these nucleus is surrounded by the electron. So nucleus is having proton and neutron, and proton is having positive charge, as we can see here. um, Proton is having positive charge, so positive charge particle that are present in the nucleus of an atom we say as proton, and the other particle, subatomic particle that is present in the nucleus that is not having any charge, we say them neutron. These are neutral, and this proton and neutron are subatomic particles that make the nucleus of an atom, and around this nucleus we are having another subatomic particle that is having negative charge. So negative charge subatomic particle that is present in the atom, we call them as an electron. So proton, neutron and electron are these subatomic particle of an atom, and the electronic configuration is actually the arrangement of these electron in an atom. So if we are having a neutral atom, so neutral atom would be having equal number of electron and equal number of proton. So we know that electron is having positive charge, and then electron is having negative charge, and proton is having positive charge. So equal number of positive and negative would be cancel each other. So the atom would be neutral. So neutral atom would be always having equal number of negative and the positive charge. However, what happened, one there is an unequal number of negative and positive charge. So this unequal number of the negative or positive charge would be giving a net positive or negative charge to the atom, on the basis that what charge is present in the axis. So we do not need to be going a more depth about this. We just have to keep in our mind that we are having an atom. An atom is a basic particle of an element, and an atom, same type of atom making an element. An atom is a basic type of an element, and we are having several different elements that are grouped together in the periodic table, and each atom is having a nucleus and electron revolve around them, and the electronic configuration is actually the arrangement of this electron around an atom. So this was the definition of the electronic configuration. And um, uh, so to understand the electronic configuration, we have to know about we have to just going need to go in depth of the structure of an atom. So we have already discussed that electron are those subatomic particles that revolve around the nucleus. So actually what happened, once electron is a moving particle. However, proton and neutron are stayed in the nucleus in the center of the atom. So what happened, proton is having positive charge, and a neutron is not having any charge. So an electron is having negative charge. So what happened, this electron revolve around the nucleus as the positive charge repel the negative charge. But what happened, this electron revolve around the nucleus so fastly. So what is an orbital? Actually orbital is the location of the revolving electron around the nucleus on any particular time. So these are the electronic orbital. So what happened, and what are the electronic shells? Electronic shell are the path. Atomic shell, what is atomic shell? Atomic shell is actually the path that taken by the electron once it is revolving around the nucleus of an atom. So we are having many different orbital, like we are having s orbital, p, d, and f orbital. So what are these s, p, d, and f orbital? Actually these are the location on any time point once we can find the electron, revolving electron. um, Mostly we can find the revolving electron any time point on these locations. So you have to just keep in mind, and you can make easily understand yourself that what is orbitals. Orbitals is actually the location of the electron any time point, um, and where we can find this on these location we can find more electron during any time point. So we are one thing more, we are also having different number of all these orbital. For example, we are having s orbital, only one s orbital. However, if I'm talking about p orbital, we can have 2p orbital. What does mean by 2p orbital? These are different planes, and these are the probability of finding the electron in the p orbital into two different sides. So we can say them that p orbital we are having 2p orbital, and we are having 4d orbital, and vice versa. So all these things. And then one more important thing we need to discuss here, that once electron move very fastly around the nucleus. So electron is having a charge, so this charge distributed throughout the nucleus. So we can also say them this sp and df orbital are um, the function that describe the electron, how the charge on the electron is distributed around the nucleus of an atom. So we have discussed about the orbitals, but what is a shell? shell is a path that is taken by the electron around around a nucleus, and then the orbital comes in the shell, and each shell can have more than one orbital. For example, one or more than one orbital. For example, shell 1, that is the very farthest shell from the outer side of the electron, outer side of the atom, and very nearest shell to the nucleus of an atom. So this shell only have one orbital, that is mostly s orbital, and number 2 orbital, non number 2 shell, that is the next to the shell 1, can have two orbital, one s and one p, and shell 3, that is the farthest shell from the nucleus, can have four orbital, that is sp. This is shell number 3, and it can have sp and d and f orbitals. So these are about the shells, how many orbitals are present in each shell. So one thing more we need to discuss, that as we see that we are having shells, for example, shell 1 would be very near to the nucleus, so it is having only one s orbital. So if a shell is having only one s orbital, so it can be just have only two electron. So s orbital would be having two electron, and p orbital can have six electron, d orbital can have 10 electron, and f orbital can have 14 electron. um, so these are the number of electron that can come in the sp and d and f orbital, and from the ability to occupy the electron by the orbital or by the shell, we can calculate its energy. For example, if we are having shell number 1 and it can only have only one orbital, that is s orbital, and we know that only s orbital can have only two electron. So if an atom is having only two electron, it will be having minimum energy. This shell would be having minimum energy. Why? We know that electron is having negative charge, electron is also having its own energy. So if we are having only two electrons, so the shell would be having that much of energy that is present in the two electron. But as the number of number of orbital would be getting increased in any shell, so it would be having increased number of electron, and the energy start is getting accumulating, and as a result we would be having more energy with more number of orbital. So if we see here, so shell 1 would be having minimum energy, then shell 2 would be having more energy than shell 1, and then shell 3 would be having higher energy that as compared to the shell 2. So with the increased number of shell, we would be having increased number of orbital, and we will be having increased number of electron in that orbital, and we would be having increased amount of energy in that shell. So as we can see here that this diagram is showing that how the shell number and these orbital, their orbital and the number of electron. So now we are going to talk about that what is the electronic configuration and how we can place the electron in the different orbital and in the shell of an atom. So there was a rule that we say as above rule. It tells us about the placement of the electron in the each orbital present within the each shell of an atom. So this rule say that a shell 1 occupies minimum 2 electron, and it say that shell 2 can occupy maximum uh, 8 electron, 2 in s orbital and 4 in the p orbital, 6 in the p orbital. And it says that shell 3 can be occupy um, 18, maximum 18 electron, and so on. So once we place the electron in the orbital. So the first electron would be we will be placed in the orbital or in the shell that would be having minimum energy. So that would be shell S. So once we are going to place the electron, so have to place the electron from the minimum energy level to maximum energy level. So we follow this rule. This is a rule. We write like this, and we follow this diagram, like means this order of filling the electron. So first electron would be going into the s orbital, and then the of shell n1, and then shell 2 would be having s and p orbital. So the other electron would be going to the s and p electron orbital, and vice versa. So this was the thing, and then we are going to have different examples here. For example, I am having an example of nitrogen atom, and nitrogen atom is having 4 proton, 4 neutron, 7 proton, 7 neutron, and 7 electron are surrounded or revolving around the um, nucleus of an atom. So how it will be filling. So we are having here s orbital, and we are having, this is shell 1, and shell 2 is having s and p. So our first we know that we are having 7 electron in the nitrogen atom, and 2 electron are present in the first shell, and then rest would be going into the rest 5 of the electron would be present in the shell 2, that is shell KL, that would be the shell KL. Yeah, that would be the shell L. So how we are going to fill it? One, we are going from here 1s. So our first 1s means we would be first filling the orbital s, first s orbital. So our first shell is having 2 electron. So our first s orbital would be having 2 electron, and we have to understand that these two electron would be present into means opposite direction. And then second is the 2s, and then in 2s we are again would be having 2 electron. S orbital cannot having more than 2 electron, and then we are having going to the this direction, then we would need to fill the 2p electron. We need to fill p orbital, 2p orbital. So the p orbital is having 3, means rest 3 of the electron would be going to p orbital. And once we are going to write the electronic configuration, we have to keep 3 things in mind. One, we have to obey the direction of this rule, and we have to fill the electron with the minimum energy level, and we have to write the electron in the opposite direction. And first we are adding the electron in the one first we add the electron, we will be filling 1 electron, and then we complete this diagram, and then we fill a remaining electron. So now we are having another example, that is the oxygen, and we know the oxygen atomic number is 8. Oxygen is having 8 electron, 8 proton, and 8 neutron. So so we can fill it like this. Oxygen would be having 2 electron in 1s orbital, 2 electron in 2s orbital, and then 4 electron in 2p orbital. So we can also write it like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. It is saying that first s orbital is having 2 electron, second s orbital is having 2 electron, and second p orbital is having 4 electron. So this is the how we write the electronic configuration. I hope you are understanding this lecture. Thank you very much for your kind consideration, and keep watching my videos. Thank you very much.